You step into a busy mall, concert, festival, or even a packed office party, and your body tenses before you've taken 3 steps. The noise, the overlapping voices, people brushing past you from every direction, bright lights, smells, music, it all hits at once. Your brain doesn't think, this is exciting. It thinks too much, too close. You catch yourself scanning for exits, quieter corners, empty hallways, counting the minutes until you can leave. By the time you get home, you feel strangely wiped out, like your battery's been dragged down to 0, while other people talk about how energizing it was to be in the crowd. Inside, you quietly ask, why do crowds make me feel like I'm under attack? Why can't I just enjoy being around people like everyone else? If crowded places drain you more than they excite you, what your brain is doing there is something most people like you never get told, and it might completely change how you see this crowd-hating side of yourself. The world usually doesn't treat this like a real thing. Friends say, come on, it'll be fun. Or, you're such a buzzkill, it's just people. Like your body's reaction is an overreaction. Maybe you've been called antisocial, dramatic, too sensitive, or told you're missing out on life because you avoid big events, busy places, or leave early when it gets crowded. You might even force yourself into situations you dread. Just so you don't look weird, then spend the whole time dissociating, glued to your phone, or planning your exit. After enough of that, their voices become your own. Why can't I handle what everyone else calls normal? Am I just weak, broken? Do I not like people at all? Most people like you stop there and assume they're the problem, but it's only because nobody ever explained what your brain and nervous system are actually doing in a crowd. What most people never tell you is that hating crowds usually isn't about being antisocial or fragile. It's about how your nervous system is wired. Psychology talks about optimal arousal, that sweet spot where your brain feels alert but not overloaded. Some people need a lot of noise and movement to get there. Your system hits that point and then blows past it much faster. Crowds combine loud sound, constant motion, strangers in your space, and very little control. For a low-stimulation, safety-oriented nervous system that isn't fun, it's a flood. You're not broken. You're tuned differently. Your brain is doing exactly what it's designed to react to intense input and uncertain situations by going on alert. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Once you understand how crowds overload your senses and trigger your safety system, you can stop calling yourself the weird one and start seeing the real logic behind your reaction. To really see what's happening, you have to zoom in on what your brain is dealing with inside a crowd. First, there's sensory overload. Crowded place isn't just people, it's multiple conversations at once. Footsteps, music, announcements, smells, bodies brushing by, lights flickering, doors opening and closing all at the same time. Lots of people's brains automatically tune most of that out. Yours doesn't. It takes in more of it, processes more of it, and hits its enough point much faster. Instead of feeling stimulated, you feel flooded. Then there's social vigilance. In a crowd, your brain is quietly tracking far more than you realize. Who's too close? Who looks angry? Is there a drunk person? Someone acting off? If you've ever been bullied, harassed, or blindsided before, this vigilance dials up even higher. Your nervous system treats large groups of strangers as many moving variables, and a part of you stays on guard the whole time. On top of that, there's the loss of control and escape routes, a packed train, concert, or line. You can't just leave without pushing past people. For a safety-oriented mind, few exits doesn't feel neutral. It feels risky. Your body reads it as if something happens, I'm stuck. That alone is enough to keep your threat system humming in the background. Put it all together, sensory overload, constant vigilance, limited control, and your system does exactly what it's supposed to do. It says, this is too much. I don't like it here. Most people only see you hating crowds. They never see how hard your brain is working just to stay in the room. The real question is, when is that reaction wisely protecting you? And when is it quietly shrinking your world more than it needs to? This is where it gets important. Part of your reaction to crowds is wise protection. It's the part of you that refuses to ignore your own overwhelm, that notices when a space is too loud, too chaotic, or genuinely not safe. That sensitivity has probably kept you out of situations other people sleepwalk into. It deserves respect. But there's a point where that same protection can start to shrink your world. When you say no to every event with more than a handful of people, when you skip things you actually want, like a concert you'd love, A friend's party, a family gathering, because all you can picture is the crowd? On the outside, it looks like just your preference. On the inside, it can quietly become fear calling all the shots. Working with your wiring doesn't mean forcing yourself into chaos. It means designing life around what your nervous system can handle, and then gently stretching it where it's worth it. That might look like choosing smaller venues and off-peak times, staying near exits so you feel less trapped. Setting a time limit before you go, I'll stay an hour and then leave, and planning recovery time at home afterwards. Little things that tell your brain we're listening to you and we're still allowed to live. If this felt like someone finally explained why crowded places make you feel more trapped than thrilled, you're not alone, and you're not broken for needing less noise to feel okay. Subscribe and stay close if you want more videos that decode traits like this without shaming you. And tell me in the comments which kinds of crowds drain you the fastest, because next, we're going even deeper into how people with sensitive, safety-oriented minds like yours can build lives that fit your nervous system, not fight it.